Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abigail, originally from Kenya, but currently studying in China. So sit back and let's engage more. Thank you. The day I boarded a plane to China, I had two suitcases and one dream. Hi, I'm Abigail. I studied civil engineering in Kenya, and currently I moved to China to continue my education. Originally, I had shared with you guys how I ended up choosing to study civil engineering. And today I'm going to tell you how I ended up in China, the research I did, this how hectic it was and the school and everything in between from the age requirement. So sit back and let's engage. So today I'm going to share with you the research I did and everything you need to know about China. So first thing first, China has I don't know, it's not like literally the same with other universities when you have to like it has more information online. It was a little bit hard doing the research when it comes to getting the school. Especially I think in my other social media I've already shared something to do with age requirement. China has age restrictions when it comes to education system. You are supposed to be at least I think 25 years and below when you are doing your bachelor's. That's how it's presumed in the countries, like their policy. It's what the government works with, something like that. And when you're doing masters, most school takes you, I think, around 30 years or maybe up to 35. That's the little, right, like the research I did, that's how most school will take. Bachelor, you need to be below 25, and for masters, around 30 to 35. But in some exception mean like little schools, you'll find that they'll take in bachelors up to 30 years old and masters they can take up to 40 years old. So when I was doing my research, it was based on age. Like age was really important, considering I'm literally not below 25 years old. I am more than 25 years old. So I had to put those things into consideration. I took the longest time into finding schools in the things to do with the age requirement. So the first thing that was like the basic thing first when you are looking into researching schools in China, you have to start with the age. You want to see if you are eligible because when you check about the fee, funding, and everything, that one like more of comes later because you can get a school and oh you'll be like oh it funds this and this, but then when you check requirement, they'll say that oh it's only below 24 years old or below 25 years old. So those are the kind of thing when you are looking into studying in China, you need to first consider the age. The age requirement is really a crucial thing here. It's really, I think, among the number one things they look into when they are like taking in students for whichever course the bachelor's. But the good thing, if you want to come and study Chinese language, as far as I know, they don't have probably like restriction in particular age. They check mostly whichever 50 years can study Chinese language, whichever age you can always enroll and get to study whichever from whichever school they'll take you in, no matter the age. That is for Chinese language only. But for bachelor and masters, first thing first, look into your age. Are you eligible? Are you below 25? 25 years and below tend to have a lot of opportunities more than the rest of us who are above the 25 years of age. So more of very unfortunate when it comes to age here. But if you are below 25 years of age, you really have a lot of opportunities in this. You'll get even scholarship, you'll get better school. I mean, you have a lot of choices when it comes to picking whichever school you want, whichever city you want, because China is big and vast. So you get to choose different places, different things you have to do. And I mean, you have more option than most of us who are like above 25 years old. So first thing first, when you are thinking about coming to study in China, we are talking about age. Age is the number one factor. So once you know about the age requirement for your, if you are actually eligible to do your bachelor's or master's in China, when now you go ahead and start the research. Now, when you start the research, you have to also consider the language of instruction. As you know, China is like, It's not an English speaking country. So they first language here is Mandarin. So you need also to consider the school you are selecting, is it taught in English or is it taught in Chinese? That is another thing you have to put into consideration. If it's because mostly we are from an English speaking country, you know English. It's not like you know Chinese. So if you know English, it means you have to go with schools that teach in English. So you narrow your search again to schools that teach in English. So you go ahead and check. And sometimes you can also find that the school, yeah, you found this particular school, the language of instruction is English. But then you can find that, okay, I need this major. And maybe if I speak about myself, civil engineering, and then I find, oh, the civil, yeah, is taught in English. And maybe someone else wanted to do maybe bachelor's in business administration, but the other one is taught in, let's say, Chinese. Because you can find that sometimes in the School of International Education, some major are still done in different language. You can find my major is done in English, but a different major is done in Chinese. But maybe that's the specific major. Oh, you wanted this school in particular, you have not say, oh, the age is okay. And then you go ahead and check and you say, oh, now I can find my major here. And you go ahead and say, oh, the language of instruction is English. But some schools, they still go ahead and explain that the language of instruction can be English and partly Chinese. They always have that kind of thing. So you need to get into more details and see which school are you picking. Is it English full-time, or is it English and Chinese, or is it Chinese? So the next thing you need to know also is your language of instruction. The language of instruction is very important, because if you pick the wrong thing, it will be like it will like cause effect into your studies. How will you be able to understand if you don't know the language? It means that first of all, you cannot get into that course, because they have to ask you for the certificate of language that shows, like mostly you see in the USA or UK, they'll tell you to do SATs or IELTS. And here we also have HSK. They do HSK to show that, oh, your language of understanding, if you say you want to do it in Mandarin, it shows that you are advanced and you are able to communicate. And that one needs you to at least have, I think, HSK4. It's in different level. We have HSK 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think until 6. So you need to be able to communicate and also read the Chinese characters for you to be able to study in the Chinese language major. But for you, if you cannot study, understand Chinese, you can be able to pick the English major. Like what I'm doing currently, I'm doing the one which is the English major. So I picked the English major because I don't understand Chinese. So I have to do my major in English. So the next thing after doing checking on the age, you have to now come and check on the language. Once you are sure about the age and the language and everything is okay, now you can go ahead and check the next detail. And the next detail we are talking about here is now the grades. Actually, you see, most schools, they are ranked differently. There are schools which only take the high grade people who have the highest GPA or the highest grade they got in high school. If it's masters, you have the highest GPA in your bachelor's. But the other, they can like the mid-level, or I don't know, you can call it tier 1 schools, tier 2 and tier 3, like in different levels. So you also need to check your grades, like what did you get? Is your grade good enough to take you to the biggest school, like those big schools in Beijing or Shanghai, something like that? Or is your grade taking to a lower school? All those also need to put into consideration, because there's no way you can get into a top tier university and you didn't have good grades. So you need to, if you are still in high school, maybe watching this, and you are interested in China, you need to put in a lot of effort for you to be able to get into the big schools. The big schools always check the good grades, and once you have the good grades, be sure you'll be able to get the admission, because once you have it, the admission process is very straightforward, and it's very like it's actually very straightforward. You'll be able just to get the admission when you have everything in order. You have the age required, it's English taught, and you have the good grades. You are literally just getting the admission. It's not that hard. So yeah, literally those are the first thing. Once you know about it, and then you're good to go, you'll be able to get a school in China. Yeah.